Okay, so here's our chart for Monday, November 6th. I have it set for 5 a.m. I'm figuring that's probably a normal time for a lot of us old geezers to get up. But anyway, no matter what time you get up or how late you stay up, the moon was in Leo and, is at 5 a.m. at 26 degrees. And it's in a nice sextile up to the south node. So the wisdom of the past, especially in relationships, may be coming through in dream time. I've been having tons of those. And it's been a little tricky to figure out. But yeah, if you write them down, what helps me a lot is to write them down. And as I'm writing, I usually get some more details. I don't write it out fully in the middle of the night. I just take a little note, But the last few nights, I haven't even had to write down it until I'm awake and ready to try and decipher it, try to interpret it. And so what helps is when you sit down to try and interpret it, just let your guidance, let your feelings, it's mostly the feelings that help bring through the truth. And you can use, so when you're trying to interpret it, there are lots of dream dictionaries and there's lots of little apps. You can try that if you want. But first, before you do anything like that, like look outside yourself, access the feelings if there's any, and if there's not, and just being disgusted or a little bit angry, those are all real feelings, okay? So there can be feelings that are trying to either warn you or help you process something through, set a stronger boundary. Oh my God, I just drew the moon card. Okay. So Leo, the Leo energy, the moon with Leo can help us so much in that last decan of the sign, can help us so much with lessons and to get those lessons down. And with the, like I said, the sextile to the south node, it can definitely come through with dream time. With the relationship sign of Libra at the south node, we're probably all going through it. And especially because the south node is also in a square to Pluto here. So power issues, power dynamics in relationships are up. And especially because off of the south node, we're facing at the other end, Eris, our feminine counterpart to courage, and we won't take it anymore, or I won't take it anymore, or the heck with this, I'm out of here type of a thing. Or whatever it is, you can just be accessing more courage for whatever you're needing. And then with the south node also trining Saturn in Pisces, Pisces is definitely related to the moon and all things mystical, dreamtime oriented, completion. And with Neptune in Pisces, same thing going on there. So there's so much ripe energy for accessing dreams. And with the moon in this aspect of the architect, we're dealing with so much potential in order to step into our courage. Leo is all about courage and self-confidence and shining your light, saying what you need to say. All of that is up for, it's just up. It's up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me bring through the cards. And if you want more with the chart, just go to the weekly astrology. It's weekly evolutionary astrology, and I have the timestamps in there, so you get the weekly overview in the beginning, and then the dailies. I have the timestamps so that you can just fast forward or click on to get to the day, whatever day you're wanting. So anyway, we have the moon, Two of Wands. I'm using Jennifer Glasson's Crystal Visions Tarot. It's a lovely deck. So the moon is everything that I was talking about. It's about accessing dream time, all things mystical, all things, geared to trusting your instincts, your intuition, your faith. But it can be tricky because a lot of times you go into self-doubt. A lot of times you're afraid you're in illusion. A lot of times with the moon card, we're just not totally there yet. But if you trust yourself, if you're willing to look and see if there's anyone deceiving you, or if you're deceiving yourself, or if there are any hidden agendas going on in relationships, manipulations, things like that. Those are all, the hidden trouble when it comes to the moon. But also, we're going to have the next week. We're going to have the new moon in Scorpio come through. So maybe the moon card is coming through today to remind us that we can start setting our intentions early. There's no reason why you have to wait until the new moon. The new moon's always a new cycle. The Two of Wands here is about having patience with yourself when you're working with your dreams. It can take years for you to figure out your specific way of accessing dream time and getting the messages yourself. And I should, at some point, I'll do a video on what I've learned myself. Hold on one second, I can get some water. Oh, that's better. Okay, so with the Two of Wands, sometimes it's about needing to wait, and we're a little bit restless. Sometimes it has to do with making plans. So maybe dream time, and this could also be, the moon can also be meditation time. But it could also be about letting go of your fears and just make those new plans. I love it. The sun. Wow. To have the moon and the sun in one reading. That's amazing. Let me bring the camera down just a little bit so you can see the images a little better. I hope that's not too much. Okay, so just look at that. The moon and the sun. It doesn't get any better. I would say the simple message is just to always remember that no matter what, our beliefs organize our reality. So if we can do that deep work of getting inside of, because you can have your mental beliefs, but then your emotional makeup can tell you something different. Trust the emotional because it's trying to help you heal. So if we can get into the past and figure out maybe what went wrong. And I always like to look at there's a doggy and there's a wolf, and if you can just use that information to, or use the symbology there to open up to what you can trust would be the doggy, and what new path you might want to go on would be the wolf. So use your intuition and not to push down any fears, but to question the fears. If there's any fears coming up, especially about taking a risk, especially about having more courage, and that will be the key. Just do your due diligence to question yourself. Whenever we have a false belief that we're trying to heal, we have to question it from all different angles. We have to get into it, looking at it from many different angles. And the more we do that, the more we heal the false belief, because you start asking yourself, real, just basic questions. I mean, my goodness, I used to work with people so much around it seemed to be a universal theme that came up, that they thought that if their credit cards if they couldn't make their credit card payments, they might wind up in jail. No. But you know where that comes from, right? I mean, how many past lives might we have had in like a debtor's prison, or being taken out because somebody's trying to take your things and you get killed, things like that. So there can be all these illusions that we're breaking through, and then from there, you can look at things in a new way, but you're still not ready to act yet. Well, just trust that the sun will guide you. Just go towards, with the sun, our guidance there, our lesson there is always to go towards what feels good, what would feel like giving you something to celebrate, you know. You're just the gratitude for literally the things, you know. Here we have a baby, we have a horse, we have sunflowers, and all these butterflies. That's one thing I love about this deck. There's a lot of butterflies in it. So anyway, and you guys let me know what decks you like. I'm going to try just using a lot of different ones and see what you like. See what your favorites are. Or if you want me to just stick with a simple Rider-Waite, because the imagery there is so, it's easy to glom onto, it's so universal, I can do that too. Just let me know. Or maybe I should put out a little survey again. So anyhow, with the sun and the moon, the Two of Wands in the center, I think that the theme is that it's just, you know, to know that progress is coming. But if you go towards, if you look at your fears and you face your fears and you know what the illusions are and you work all that through and you work your false beliefs through, and this can take years, because there's always something else coming up and you go, oh, didn't realize that one was still in there, or this is a new one, what the heck is this about? But just, you know, look at it from the perspective of, does the belief, if you're trying to figure out if it's a false belief or not, you could ask yourself, does the belief support life? Does it support love? Does it support abundance? Does it support growth? You know, does it support just positive reality, basically? Does it support happiness and joy? That's what the sun is all about. So maybe in the past, some of you have had a hard time moving forward or making plans, although, you know, none of these cards are reversed, and I did allow for reversals, so that says a lot. But maybe it's better to not make plans on your fears, but make plans. Now there are healthy fears too. You know, you want to make sure you're protecting yourself and have healthy boundaries. But if we're not planning according to our fears and planning instead according to our abundance and joy and happiness and prosperity, and again, all things that support life, then we're headed in the right direction. Because I always have to remember, you know, Byron Katie's quote that, what did she say? Life isn't working against you, life is for you. So basically just remember, life is for you. If you believe it is. But if you're pessimistic and you don't believe that that's true, then it won't be. It won't be for you. Some things are true whether you believe in them or not, and then some things are, you know, well, the bottom line is, the question is always, is it truth? Is this belief based in truth? And there might be universal spiritual truth, but that you haven't been able to completely, you know, integrate it into your physical life. So there's always that. But anyway, that's what I'm here for. If you need support in that, just book a session and we'll get into it. That's my thing. So, okay, take good care, you guys. Bye.